All right, so I just got done watching the Celtics game, game three, and Boston defeated Miami with a final score of 117 to 106. Great to finally see the Celtics close out a game. It kind of got scary there at the end. They almost blew a 20-point lead. We know how the Celtics roll. They like to blow leads. They like to scare us. It's never over with them. But the important thing is they got the win. And first thing I wanted to point out is the fact that Gordon Hayward, in his first game back, I know he's been out for almost like 5 weeks now, or however long it's been. Um, he did not have a minutes restriction. They said they would monitor him, but he still ended up playing 30 minutes in the game and made a really good impact. He was doing his good old Gordon Hayward playmaking stuff. He was passing the ball around, made a couple important baskets. Um, so that's the first thing. But first quarter was pretty much all back and forth. Um, Jaylen Brown looked really good. The whole team looked really good, but Jaylen Brown in particular, they took the ball to the hoop a lot, and they just would not back down to begin with. I think they scored like 26 points or something like that in the first quarter. Second quarter, that's when they looked a little bit better, and they really started to pull away. And Marcus Smart, once again, coming up huge the entire game. He looked really good, distributing the ball tonight. He hit those clutch free throws at the end. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But just talking about players that stood out in particular early in the game. Kemba Walker made some pretty nice three-pointers. Good to see him get back into his rhythm after his atrocious first two games of the series and really just inconsistent playoffs in general. It's nice to see him get back on track. But and overall, the whole team just looked much more comfortable with Hayward being back in the lineup. I feel like at times they were trying to do too much, or they got a little bit too content, or they really just, to put it frankly, or to put it bluntly, excuse me, they really just looked like they were missing a piece in Gordon Hayward. And I think everyone can agree with that. His playmaking was sorely missed. He was, Gordon Hayward early on was feeding Tice some nice passes down low, stuff like that. Speaking of Daniel Tice, though, he still gets into foul trouble a little more than I would like. He had two before the end of the first half, I believe. Actually, I think he had two before the end of the first quarter, but it's okay because Grant Williams ended up coming in later and playing some good quality minutes. Everybody loves Grant. But yeah, Tice, he just gets into foul trouble a little more than I would like. Third quarter, though, that's when they really started to pile on the lead. Tatum was hitting threes. Kemba was making all sorts of cardiac Kemba type shots. Again, Hayward distributing the ball really well. And I will say the defense looked really good tonight. Miami, they'll hit their threes. They're a good three-point shooting team, but they weren't killing us as much as they had been in the past couple games. One thing that does annoy me a lot is, of all people, Jay Crowder seems to be killing us this series in vital stretches where it's like the dude will just hit a three or have a really nice defensive play, and it's like, I don't know, it's just it kind of embarrasses me as a Celtics fan. Someone who we consider an outcast is kind of beating us on a different team. Hopefully they tighten up a little bit more on him. Bam Adebayo didn't kill us as much as he did game two. Third quarter game two, he absolutely destroyed us. He was beating Tyus on every single cut. And then the fourth quarter, they were playing real good, and then they kind of let them back into the game. It was really just because they were missing shots, though, and the defense kind of became lackluster a little bit. But I will say, this game, it seemed like that they weren't just dribbling around and dribbling the shot clock out and just hoping someone does something. It looked like they were actually attacking this time. They were running an offense. It seemed like late third and fourth quarter the past couple games, they just did not really have a plan. It was just like Kemba was standing at the top of the key, and then Smart would make a spin move with the ball, like kick it out to Tatum, and Tatum would take a contested three or something like that, and it would just be nothing. He would brick it. That really annoyed me. But man, I really wish Marcus Smart would yell at these players more after games, because I don't know what he said to them, but it obviously worked. And I wasn't like the past couple games. I was like, I just always had that sinking feeling that something bad was going to go wrong, and that almost happened again this game. But I was still a lot more comfortable watching this game than I was watching other games. I just I felt like I don't mean to overstate it, but having Hayward back, man, it makes me feel so much more comfortable. And you can really tell that the Celtics are just the more talented team when Hayward is out there with them. People, all year long, people have wanted to trade Hayward, saying not even all year long, but his entire tenure, essentially, after the broken ankle, they've been like, oh, trade him for a center, trade him for a big, trade him for Andre Drummond. I don't think people realize what Hayward does for this team, and I'm not going to get into all that again. I'm sure everyone has heard that argument by now, but Hayward looked phenomenal, and even Stevens said it himself, this latest quote from the Celtics. Brad Stevens on Gordon Hayward's first game back. I thought he did what he's done all year. He didn't shoot it quite as much, but he is a stabilizing force for our team. He makes us better. That's for sure. But yeah, like I said, at the end, Smart with the clutch free throws, just really sealed it for us. He's been great offensively in these playoffs and defensively too. We all know that. I mean, his block on Norman Powell Game 7 against the Raptors essentially won us that series, won us Game 7. And then Grant Williams, like I said, came in, played really good defense on Adebayo in a few possessions, got us some really good rebounds. I love what Grant Williams is doing for us. I kind of wish we would see a little bit more. Oh gosh, I just drew a blank. Oh yeah, I really wish we could see more Romeo Langford, but he injured his hand once again in his 1 minute it was in Game 2, so that's unfortunate. And then Robert Williams, I think the reason he hasn't really been playing is because he kind of gets lost on defense a little too much, and this Heat team is very fast on offense, and I don't think they want to throw Williams out there just yet. And then one thing I want to talk about is whenever we couldn't buy a rebound, games 2 and 3, Stevens would throw Cantor out there, and he would, he would do what he does. He would get some easy, post points, and he would get us offensive rebounds, and he looked good in his limited minutes. But that's really all I had to say as far as the game. I just want to do a quick little review of it, but I think going forward, I'm going to be a lot more confident, and I expect big things for Game 4 on Wednesday night. Because having Hayward back in the lineup, man, it's rejuvenated the squad, and you can tell tonight, assuming they don't blow any more leads like they've been doing, and they just play their game. This is a series again, guys. I could definitely see this going 6 or 7 games, even if the Celtics don't win, but they're not going down without a fight. So thanks for watching, or listening, rather. And if you guys like these quick little game reviews, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I just really wanted to go over it and enjoy the win with you guys. But that's it, and I'll see you next time.